The business is doing about 17 million. So if the point is to make money, why am I focusing on how much it's gonna cost me? I wanna know how much it's gonna make, and then I wanna know how much of that am I gonna take home. So I don't have to worry about certain things. Like my mom not having to work, that feels amazing, right? My mom living her best life, that feels absolutely amazing. And the fact that I don't have to worry about like basic shit, like basic stuff. Like I don't have to worry about, can I get food today? Bro, I'm very self-motivated. I know what I want, and that's just what I'm going for. It's not about where you come from. If you truly want something and you're willing to sacrifice or do what needs to be done to get that, you will get that no matter what, bro. Like, I really come from a fucking third world country where I'm boiling water to shower, where I don't have electricity 24 hours a day. You can't still believe that you have to come from somewhere.
Hey guys, welcome to Pushing Wealth. I'm your host, Gabby Angel, and I'm here with Ethan Duran. He's the owner of the #1 rental fleet company in America right now, correct?
Correct.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Correct.
We're here sitting in his beautiful apartment with the views of New York City. We're enjoying these views, and we're gonna get into this of how he's become successful. A kid from the Dominican Republic who is now making the world his home.
That's a good statement. The world is home.
Right?
Yeah, literally.
So your journey starts along the lines of you were born in the Dominican Republic?
Yeah. Well, first of all, thanks for having me. But yeah, I was born in the DR. I moved to the US when I was 12, I think, 11 or 12.
So you're born in DR, and do you remember that experience of living out there?
I do, bro. I do. I genuinely do because DR is considered a third world country, and you know, although we're more advanced now, or the Dominican Republic is more advanced now, it took some time to get there. So even though I wasn't like super duper poor, I still remember not having electricity. I still remember having to boil water to shower with hot water, you know? And it wasn't a thing of like, okay, you're fucking poor. It was more of those things where like the country just wasn't advanced enough yet to sustain electricity 24/7.
You come out to America, right? You're making your life here. Was it so easy for you to reach where you are today, or it took you some time?
You know what? I think it's never easy, but from somebody else like looking in, or from the outside looking in, I can see how it can look easy. I'm 25 right now, and I've been a millionaire since 19. So I can see how somebody could look from outside and be like, okay, well, it's been easy for you, but it's really just persistence, you know? More so just continuing to keep going through downs and losses and just persistent. Because when you want something really bad, I don't think you think about it like hard or easy. I think when somebody else from the outside asks you that question, like, hey, was it hard, was it easy? You answer in a way of like, okay, well, it was hard or maybe it was easy. But when you're actually doing it, that's not what you're thinking. You're just thinking about, I want this, I want that, I want this result. So you're not thinking about, fuck, I got let down. Fuck, I didn't do it. Fuck, I didn't get that. You're just thinking, I want it, I didn't get it today. I want it, I didn't get it today. Tomorrow. And you're consistently obsessed with the pursuit of that achievement, whatever that may be, whether it's $1 million or $10 million, $100 million. And you don't really think about was it easy or not. So all I can do is reminisce about everything that I've done, but not really in the sense of, damn, it was so fucking hard. Does that make sense?
Definitely. Was your first taste of entrepreneurship straight up into the rental industry, or?
No, I did. I was into fitness first from like 16, 15. I was into fitness. I wanted to be one of those like travel fitness guys that would go to the expos and get paid from brands. I wanted to do that, so I was really pushing that heavy. That wasn't working out, so I tried doing my own brand, like my own clothing brand. Didn't work out either. I think I tried 2 more, and then I got into real estate. Real estate was kind of the first step of money that I've made. I don't want to say success, but I guess in a sense, a little bit of like making my own money in my own terms, how I want to make money, and not by somebody else giving it to me. And then from real estate, I got into supercar rentals.
What was your first step getting into the car industry?
You know what? I'm a big believer into you need to put yourself in positions where opportunities show up. So I didn't wake up one day and say, oh, I want to do supercar rentals, and now I went and did it. You know, I was just putting myself in positions where opportunities will arise, and luckily by chance, I was around somebody who essentially was already doing it. I saw it firsthand, and I just said I could do it better, and then just took it from there.
We saw in the pandemic a huge influx of people getting into this industry. As someone who's been doing this for a long time, can you say it is an easy thing to do or easy to get into, or it has its trials and tribulations?
Nothing is easy. Nothing's ever going to be easy. And if you're wanting to get something because you think it's easy, you're already failing. You have to have the mindset that you coming in to do something, whether it's this, whether it's e-commerce, whether it's real estate, you have to go in with the right mindset of, I'm going to go do what needs to be done, and how can I make it better? So when you're looking at a business or when you're looking at an opportunity, it shouldn't be, oh, well, that looks easy, let me do it. It should be, well, look at that business, look at that industry. What can I do better? What can I do that will make somebody that does business with him do business with me instead? Whether it's provide a better service, provide at a cheaper price, or just overall make it better. If you're just thinking, hey, it's gonna be easy, or it's gonna be easier, or it's just easy money to get into, then you're already gonna fail.
Yeah.
You can't go into a business just because you think it's easy. You have to provide some sort of value for anybody to do business with you, or for any business to really succeed, right?
Yeah, in business school they teach that is literally, in business is either who came first or who comes and makes the product better or the service better.
That's a good way of seeing it, yeah, I agree.
When it comes to the industry you're in, there is a large overhead and there is a large risk. How do you guys mitigate the risk? How do you guys protect yourself from not going too overboard when you have such a high overhead?
I mean, I don't think the overhead is high at all. The liability is very, very, very high. Overhead is not so much. So I can get into numbers here?
Yeah,
So
I would love that.
If we get into numbers, let's talk about large overhead. What's a large overhead for you? Are we talking about?
Well, I mean, when you're dealing with supercar payments, obviously if you go and touch profit, you look at net profit, all this stuff, etc. You see that it may not be too much of overhead in your eyes.
Yeah.
But like if you as an outsider, right? When you tell me you're spending $2,500 on a car payment, a car note, and then at least another $500,000 on insurance, that's almost somebody's monthly salary.
Well, that's not what I'm looking at when I'm getting into any business. I'm looking at how much I'm gonna make from it, not how much it's gonna cost me. Because the point is to make money, So if the point is to make money, why am I focusing on how much it's gonna cost me? I wanna know how much it's gonna make, and then I wanna know how much of that am I gonna take home. So when we're talking about overhead, if you're a regular person and you wanna get started in the industry, right? And you wanna get a Lamborghini, let's say, for example, and put that out, that's like the beginner car you wanna get into. That's gonna cost you not $2,500, $4,000 to $5,000 a month, maybe $6,000 at the very possible max a month in overhead expenses, right? Now, if you're renting that out for $1,800 a day, 3 to 4 days, you're already breaking even. But it's not really breaking even, is it? Because you're making equity gains in your loan. So you're really just, same as real estate, making money in the vehicle. Now, if you're doing 20 to 22 days at $1,800, you're already in the 80% profit. So with that being said, it's not very high overhead at all. Do you get what I'm saying? So when you ask, okay, it's like expensive to get into? Maybe, possibly. But as far as overhead goes, no, because the goal is to think about, okay, this is gonna make me 30, 40, 50K a month, and it's gonna cost me this much. Now, you're getting into it right away to make money. So the focus should be, how much am I gonna make from it?
This all goes back into studying your industry you get into and studying your craft, because obviously if someone's gonna get into this business, they gotta know how many days do I need to make money, to make let's say to break even, to get to a certain point. What is their goal, obviously? And there's also knowing about what market they're getting into, obviously, because let's say obviously certain cars and then everywhere you go they're gonna be wanted. But New York City market is not the same thing as maybe the market in Texas or the market in every different state. So how do you guys specifically do your research? Like being in the field, how do you do, like how can someone conduct their research to see how much their car would make besides these apps,
I think obviously like you said, every city is different. Not even every state, every city is different. You could have, for example, Florida, Miami, Tampa, and Orlando. All three of them do very, very, very differently. I think it just comes in repetition, right? You just got to get started. Number one, just get started somewhere. It's very difficult not to be profitable, so you're gonna be profitable regardless if you do what needs to be done, and you can rent it out anywhere from 3 days or more. Now, I think what builds confidence in your craft and what you do is going to be repetition. Do it over and over and over and over and over, and you're gonna have that thing in your head where you just kind of know, which is called confidence. But I wouldn't have that if I wouldn't do it every single day. So I think for us, it's kind of easy to just look at a market, look at a city, and kind of know how much we can make. If it's going to be profitable, which obviously 9 out of 10 times it is, but we're used to a certain kind of profit within the business, and we want to maintain it that way. So we're very careful about what city we choose. But like I said, it just kind of comes with just repetition, doing it over and over and over and over again.
Obviously, the cars are depreciating assets. How do you guys protect yourself from that?
Depends on the car. But yes, in our case, every car will most likely depreciate just because of the miles that we're putting on the vehicle. But there's no protection from it. I just have to make more than the car is depreciating it. You get what I'm saying? So obviously we do our best. One of the things that I tell people when it comes to the business, you make money in the buy. You sell cars, so you understand. I know exactly how much money I'm going to make when I buy the vehicle. So you buy and sell cars, right? Used cars. The same, you make money in the buy, but you don't see the profit until you sell. So for us, it's somewhat the same, but we make money in the middle. So I know how much money I'm going to make from a car usually when I buy it at the price I'm buying it at. And if I'm looking at an exit of depending on how much it is, and that's the plan. But if the plan is to rent that car out above its depreciation and just keep it running, then there's that too, right? We're talking about a business where 3 to 4 months, 6, 8 months, the car's paid off. So now I've doubled my money, right? So when we look at it about a game of doubles, the game of double when it comes to money. You want to double your money, double $1, double $2, or $3. This game is essentially doubling it. It just takes a little bit longer. So if I rent out the car 6, 7, 8 months, I double the money. Now the car's worth a little bit less, but I have what the car cost already in cash. Do you get me? In profit, and I still have the vehicle. So it's kind of like a battle of beating the depreciation at first, and just really knowing if it's a vehicle you're gonna sell or if it's a vehicle you're gonna keep running for a long time. With supercars like Lamborghinis and Ferraris, these cars don't change body every 2, 3, 4 years like Toyota, Mercedes do. The Huracan, it's almost a 5-year-old car now. I have so many of them, and they're not gonna go away anytime soon. I think it has about 2, 3 years left in it, but I've been in the industry 6 years, so I haven't had to sell any Huracans unless it was because of a car accident or it was having issues. Besides that, I haven't had to. And then if we're looking at when I first started, I was buying Huracans for like $205,000, $190,000. Those same Huracans are now worth like $250,000, dude. So I think I can't predict where the market will be at in 10 years, but what I can do is make money every single day to make it beat depreciation, whatever the case may be.
I mean, we saw that with the Uruses being sold out. Well, no, they still are, but a lot of people.
Everything was sold out.
We're going crazy.
Not just
the
Uruses.
G-Wagons, everybody was going crazy. So
G-Wagon was selling. The G-Wagon is $150,000, $170,000 car if it's fully loaded. It was selling for $300,000, $280,000, bro. Crazy stuff. So we've sold a lot of cars lately because they're about to go down, and then we'll have to rebuy them later on after.
Well, yeah, you guys have your own tactics. Every business is different. We're here sitting in an apartment with a certain view. And I know it comes with a certain cost. Mm-hmm. So you have to be making a couple $1 million. Mm-hmm. You want to touch into base how much you guys are making? Because I know you did a video of how much it costs for you to live in a month.
You know what's crazy? So that video, it's accurate but I just showed everything here. Right?
That's not including LA.
That's not including
Miami,
anywhere else,
and now you're
bro.
going
It's
to
crazy.
China, right?
I just posted a video on YouTube not so long ago where we basically went from city to city, kind of showing like every single car and everything we have, all the houses and all the offices that we have, and yes, we added it all up. It ended up being over 10 million bucks, and believe it or not, we forgot to add shit. Like legitimately, we forgot to add some cars, we forgot to add certain things, and certain things we just couldn't fit in.
So, how much are you making right now a year?
The business or me?
The business.
The business is doing about 17 million.
17 million. And that's revenue?
Yes, revenue.
And how much you guys are profiting, if you would like to speak about it?
Yeah, so we're taking home, like I said, at least 80%. I haven't really seen the returns for, we haven't filed yet, but, we've seen so far, we're probably going to do even more than 80%.
So what expenses are the 15, 20%? What would be the expenses you consider? Maintenance of the cars,
Yeah, so
the
obviously
offices?
we have a lot of virtual locations. So for example, in LA, we had a 2021 and 2020, we had a actual shop with a showroom that you go in and like hang out. And it wasn't making sense. Nobody was ever there. I personally was never fucking there. So we let go of that, and now we just have a location where we keep all the cars. That brings the cost to basically half a rental. Like if the car goes out once, it really covers 2-3 months of its parking, right? Here in New York as well, we have a virtual location where cars are all parked in one place and nobody really has to go in there. The only place where we have like an actual showroom now is Miami, and that's probably the biggest overhead that we have when it comes to an actual location. Not obviously, we have bigger overhead in car payments, but when it comes to like location act specifically, that is the only one, and it's not even a car rental location. It's a clubhouse that we're building. So the only reason why we have that is because we're making this big clubhouse, kind of like Soho House, but more so for like entrepreneurs, people our age, and more exclusive. We want to make it more fun. Not everybody can just go ahead and pay and get in. And that's why we have that there. So like I said, storing the cars is not that expensive because the way we keep it in. All we have really is the cars, the maintenance, the payments. If we have a payment, we buy a lot of cars cash nowadays. And that brings to another note is I tried my best to buy all my cars brand new. You sleepy, buddy?
No, bro, no. Bro. Yo, it says sorry, bro.
It's killing you. You want to come more this way?
Nah, we good. No, that sun got me like. Nah, I'm not sleeping. It got me like this. Like.
Nah, you know what it is? The sun, it has me like that too. I started buying my cars brand new, not just because it saves me money in maintenance, it saves me money in like damages and stuff happening.
And you know how to save money on taxes now too.
We won't talk about that. But no, I like to give my clients the experience of something new, Like I like to give them what's brand new. Like we're about to put a Technica on the market to rent, and we're probably like the only company I think that's offering a Technica. Not too sure. But when you buy a brand new car, you don't have to deal with a lot of the headaches. Like for example, some people ask me, say, hey, should I buy this older Lamborghini because I'll save when the depreciation hit? And I'm like, bro, don't worry about the depreciation. Worry about keeping that car on the road, because that's where the real money is. The money is having the car rented, having 20, 25, even 30 days, which is not an easy feat. But when you're buying a car that is used, has been rented, you don't know who owned it, you don't know who had it, you don't know if the miles were rolled back, you don't know if they messed something up, cleared it, and then sold it. You're literally putting yourself in a position where it's gonna be less days. You could possibly have that car have to go to the shop. You can possibly give a client a bad experience and having to swap it out. I don't want to deal with that. So I focus on, yes, paying a little bit more for the car up front, but bro, trust me, I guarantee you that money that I'm spending more on buying the brand new car and not avoiding the depreciation hit right away, I'm making within a month or two just by keeping the car on the road longer and more often than somebody else that will potentially buy a used car.
For the viewers or someone who's inspired and they're like, you know what, I want to get into this industry, how they should start? Should they start with right away go into a supercar? Should they start with the little Hondas? What was your recommendation?
I think it just depends per person, brother. Everybody has a different situation. I think you should evaluate the business and see what will be the best way for you to start. Can't give an answer for everybody because not everybody's the same. But there is an opportunity for every single person to get into the business. I'm surprised you're not in the business.
If someone
get that Maybach, it's 600.
I'll tell you later. But if someone specifically can afford to get a Urus, or they can afford a car,
can or can't.
If someone can afford to whether it's through their credit, yes, can with their credit, with
Yeah.
the money they have for down payment, they can afford a car that's, let's say, 150 to 250.
Yeah.
What car would you recommend?
Yours is on down. I say get a Huracan. Well, it just depends on the city, right? Like New York, Huracans, Lambos in general. Like Lambos do very, very well. And
What's
in
an
New
average
York.
ticket on a Lambo?
1,800
1,800. And that's
per day.
you're getting like minimum a couple days, or it could be one day, one
Yeah, it
off.
could be one day. So I think we're one of the only companies now. I got this idea from my boy Houston over in Vegas because he was doing it. We're doing 4-hour rentals, which is half the price. So by doing that, one, it makes people believe they're getting a better deal if they just do the full day. But two, certain people legitimately only need it for 4 hours.
Yeah.
It's not about they can't afford it. It's not about they only need it for 4 hours. So for them, even though they're paying half for 1/4 of the day, and even 1/5 of the day, right? To them, it makes sense.
Yeah, maybe they just needed to go somewhere and they don't want to.
Yeah, you need to go
And
somewhere.
sometimes
do
it's a
video,
hassle.
do this,
It's a
do
hassle.
that.
Be like, oh, let's say you get the car at 11 in the morning, or wake up the next day after you was in a Lambo, showing off, being lit all night, bring it back at 11 in the morning. Sometimes you never seen that. I know you don't live in New York no more like that. Sometimes, but you never seen that meme where it's like when a person rents a car, the luxury car, they almost sleep in it when there's one day to the next.
No, I haven't seen it.
It's a joke, bro. People
Yeah,
say
I get
like
the joke.
some guys that rent the rental, the Lambo, and they're gonna sleep in it and everything because they're gonna enjoy it to the fullest.
Well, look, that
It's a
goes.
joke, but
that
at the end of the day,
goes-
you have to.
I like that joke though because it's. I was literally just saying earlier. I think I'm gonna post a picture tomorrow or something, and my caption is gonna be, "You can't drive a house, but you can live in a car," which is it's true.
Why Corsa?
So Corsa obviously is the best mode in Lamborghini. It's literally track mode, basically. You're supposed to do it on the road, but it's the best mode. It's the absolute best mode. So when the company's original name was Ethan's Garage, then he went to Bespoke Auto Club, then he went to Corsa Auto Club, and then he went to Corsa Auto Rental. And now because we're doing more than just daily rentals and we're doing like yearly leases and stuff like that and monthlies, we changed to Corsa Auto Group. So it's been through multiple names. But Corsa is because, like I said, it's your best motor in a Lamborghini. I want people to be Corsa, be their best self, be their best mode, right? So get in your best mode, be Corsa, So if you look, I don't know if you got the email from my guy John, right? On the header, he should have had his thing.
I mean, I see you had a Corsa tattoo.
Yeah, it should have said, be your best self, be Corsa. Same way in a Lamborghini. As soon as you get into it, you want to put it in the best mode. Well, not everybody does, but.
As we can see, you're pretty successful. What do you think has been the key to your success?
Consistency, showing up every single day. Showing up every single day. I'm a big problem solver, bro. And it's just like, I put myself in positions where opportunities show, and I solve every problem. I genuinely believe I can make the world a better place. And the world is ran by crazy, crazy people that you wouldn't even know about, who I believe aren't the best people. And I want to be the top to make it a better place. And to do that, I just have to come in every day, put my best foot forward, not with just car rentals, but with everything else. Car rentals is my, what's that thing? My, what's that saying? It's like key to fame or whatever. Or claim to fame, whatever.
Claim to
People know
fame.
me of obviously supercar rentals, but bro, I make money from so many things, so many things. Like if you're around me, you realize like, yo, this guy is a money producing machine, 24/7, 24/7.
Money making Ethan, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things, bro. I like opportunity. I'm obsessed with opportunity. I'm more scared of not taking in a good opportunity than being broke.
I mean, bro, you gotta make somebody's salary just to live here. A month. You gotta work.
That's not what I
hard.
think about. I don't think about making somebody's salary. I think about, like I said, making the world a better place. I think about being an individual that can actually do things that can change the trajectory of what everybody's doing and what is going on in the world, right? I really think education in this world is, not even this world, right? So I've been to multiple countries now, not just DR and the US, but I've been to multiple countries, and I think the biggest thing that the U.S. has a hold on people is education. They don't give you enough to go out there and legitimately make money, right? Rockefeller, you know what that is, right? Said,
Come on, bro.
Bro,
I
you'd be
didn't know.
surprised,
I didn't
you'd
know
be
what
surprised.
Corsa was, but I know what Rockefeller is.
Rockefeller said, word for word, I want a nation of workers and not thinkers. Dude, you need to think to make money, right? The U.S. is designed to make workers, to make soldiers, to make yes men, to
course.
not think and just do what they tell you to do every single day. And it's a whole brainwashing thing, right? So one of the things that I tell people lately, and they get super shocked, is when they said, "Hey, bro, how can I get rich? How can I be successful?" I tell them it's unlearn. They're like, "What do you mean unlearn?" They get shocked. I'm like, "You need to unlearn. You need to unlearn everything that this education has taught you, because for you to go into a new place and make money, you need to forget all that crap that will not help you and will not be of any use to you whatsoever, so you can learn the new things. And once you truly unlearn all the crap that has been taught to you, then you enter a world of, possibility, a world of, yes, this can happen, a world of problem solving, right? But until you unlearn all those things, it's very, very hard to come into that.
What are different ways people can get their cars rented? So I know there's it's simple as that. I know there's apps, but I'm saying like
My boy,
at the end of the day, it's
my boy
about
went
every
from
day.
that to this question. What are
No,
the ways?
porque yo te iba, bro, I was gonna hit you with some shit, but I'm like, damn, I don't want to seem like we just doing inspirational speaking.
Nah, but bro,
I got a question for you. I was gonna leave
I like
to the end.
I like the questions, but
let's go.
I'm used to having conversations with people. You know what I'm saying?
Yo.
My boy came with a fucking notepad for the questions. But the ways that are
But let's skip that. This is what I want to ask you. This is better than, and they could go into what you were just speaking about. You're a kid from DR.
Yeah.
You're a kid who came from DR. You lived in different places in America. You named a car after your mom, right?
my boy.
And that's not learned that you were Dominican. I didn't know you were Dominican.
Really?
Yep.
Yo, you know what's crazy? People
I
think
didn't know
I'm
you were
like
doing it.
Arab, Persian.
Yeah,
People
you
just
gave a lot.
think-
You give a lot.
That's crazy,
So-
bro.
Seeing how far you've come, how does that make you feel? Knowing that the odds were against you and you you beat the odds.
I love that you put it that way. You can ask questions and you can say things, but the way you word it, it's so important. And the way you do it comes from a place of humility, inspiration, and it makes me and your guest, I'm guessing, want to answer like very well. So that's dope, bro. You're very gifted. I hope you know that.
I thought he was that. I'm like, oh shit, he's giving me praise. My fault. Nah, I appreciate it, bro.
No, really, it's very important because like you could go and ask somebody like a question in a different way where it just won't come out there. The way you said it is very. It's a nice way of putting it. So how did I feel? So every time I do a podcast or do any kind of videos with anybody, you get me that day. You get Ethan that day. Not yesterday Ethan, not a year ago Ethan. You get Ethan that day. Me personally, I am richer than I've ever been. I have more money than I've ever had. I'm making more money than I've ever made. Yet, for the first time, I feel the furthest I've ever felt from my goals than ever before. Now, I want you to really think about that. Because I'm saying I have more than I've ever had in my life. And I'm saying I'm making more than I've ever made in my life. Yet I feel so much further than I've ever felt before. The reason being is because when you have goals, right? Like I want to be a billionaire, right? Everybody wants to be a millionaire, whatever it is to me. I want to be a billionaire. But when you have goals, you don't really compare or you don't really see how far you are from that goal because it's not attainable to you yet. You don't see it there yet. So just progress is enough. Focus on the progress. But I'm working on so many things now where the goal is so tangible and actually real, where it's become a real thing within my brain, within my life, and within my team, and I feel so much further away. So essentially, if you're not consistently feeling like you're not doing more, or like you're getting more, or you want more, then I don't really know how to express that feeling. You get me? I don't know how it is to feel satisfied. I'll tell you this, I'll go buy a Lambo in cash. I'll go buy millionaire SF90, and it's like I have it, and okay, what's next? Instantly, I'm like, what's next?
Maybe you have to look back as to, you maybe, when 16-year-old you, 17-year-old you, maybe you were motivated, maybe you had visions of being this person, but maybe it wasn't so close. So I'm saying like, cause I know, looking at you from the outside in, you're an inspiration because, coming from the places that we've come from, everybody has a different
Pretty crazy
perspective.
places.
Everybody has a different perspective. Everybody has a different journey because you could put two kids in the same fucked up situation and one can go left and one can go right. So that doesn't matter in reality.
Yeah,
But
I think it's like this. To answer your
it's
question
like
quickly.
you've reached so much. You gotta be happy. Well, not you gotta be. That's the wrong word. It must feel like shit. Maybe you have to take time and look back. Like, damn, look how far I made it. So you could actually appreciate the moment.
I mean, I'll tell you this: the things that I do appreciate is obviously I don't have to worry about certain things. Like my mom not having to work. That was amazing, right? My mom living her best life. That feels absolutely amazing. And the fact that I don't have to worry about like basic shit, like basic stuff. Like I don't have to worry about can I get food today or can I don't know. I don't. There's nothing that I don't feel like I can't.
I mean, the simple fact of being able to, like, something that we probably share. I don't share a lot with you, but that being able to go buy, a shirt that we want and not have to think like, wait, can I afford this? That's a luxury, and that's something to be happy about, and something like, damn, like I don't have to
you know
worry
what's crazy? I was
about
talking to my manager today. I was telling him like, brother, the biggest shit that they give when you make money is an unlimited credit card, and it's like, bro,
Yeah.
I have no idea how much money.
Yeah, I don't know if you have. I know I got the platy. I don't know if you're the black, but the platy.
No, I don't have the black. They won't give it to me.
That
I don't
shit
know
is
why.
scary. The platy's scary. I wish I had it on me today, but the platy
No.
is scary. It's in that phone.
Yeah. So, but for me, obviously, we make X amount of money a year. I don't think I can spend the amount of money that we make a month, anyways. I mean, I could, but I couldn't. I don't even know sometimes how much money we make. I don't know any of that because I focus on actual growth. But obviously, I have my unlimited credit card, and I don't have any clue how much I spent. I don't look at price tags. I don't look at anything. I just live. And that is, I guess, the biggest thing that I'm grateful for because I remember going to places and having to like check my account because you make sure that I can do it, Like I remember that, and now I just, bro, I don't know. I just do whatever. I could spend $5 million this month. I could spend $500,000 this month. I don't know.
I mean, the key word you used there was live. Like when I was in the streets, and I decided to change my life. That was literally one of the things I kept telling myself. Like, I'm tired of surviving. I want to live. So that's what I'm saying is like, looking back. Well, I'm not saying that, if you had a rough upbringing or not, but just saying, looking back at how far you've come, I'm pretty sure that your neighbors here, some may have had the same trajectory as you, or some may have went and gotten master's degrees and PhDs, and some may own half the world, whatever. But I'm saying, like, just looking at your journey, it's something to be happy for and something to look back like, damn, like, I look how far I made it. And right now, you're giving me an opportunity. You going back and saying, okay, let me give this kid an opportunity to interview me alone is going back to where you came from. But I'm saying like that perspective that some of us have is so different. So
Very
in order
different.
to truly appreciate like, like the things that we're doing, like bro, when the simple fact I saw towards the end of the pandemic, and again, this is all about, I'm from a small zip code that everybody has comments on stuff. Okay. And like few of us successful, people of color started getting platinum cards, and all of a sudden that became a joke too. Like everybody, all of a sudden you get platinum cards, now you guys want to feel like the shit. But it's like, yo, we came from the bottom. For us to have access to certain things, because all that shit brings is access. Forget about the rest, the access. So us to have access to certain things is something that we should be able to celebrate and be able to be like happy about and proud about, that we've been able. At the end of the day, they're still making money off of us. But it's being able to access certain things that maybe our parents weren't able to, or maybe generations before us weren't able to. And then how can we go back and give that access to other people? Because that's another thing. A lot of people reach the places that we reach, and then they're like, you know what, let me close the door behind me. Because if, and it's a perspective. It goes both ways, because sometimes you could give an opportunity to somebody, and they could do shit with it, or they could mess up the opportunity for everyone else. So it's a give and take. It's let's give opportunities to everybody who comes behind us, but also you coming behind us, you need to be able to appreciate the opportunity and do something with it too, because then you might close the door for the next one behind you. So I feel like, you pushing culture forward, you pushing, what you're doing, and there's something to be proud of as someone I'm Dominican, I come from New York City, you come from New York City, something to be proud of.
Yeah.
So
No, I'm definitely
I want to give you
proud.
your flowers right now.
Yeah, thank
that
you,
I'm
bro.
proud of you, and you motivating a lot of us to get on our shit, like you say, be there every day and be consistent.
Yeah.
So I hope you see that, like because sometimes when we in those moments we don't see that. Sometimes we want so much more that we forget, like, yo, I think there's one thing that me being so close to that my past, where like I was so close to maybe death or maybe close to jail or anything, that's what helps me to this day appreciate, because I'm like, yo, every time I do something bigger, I'm like, it's amazing that I'm getting this, but bro, I shouldn't even be here. Like I could have been dead, or I could have been in jail.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But so now I appreciate everything. It could be small, big. I appreciate everything. Bro, the fact that I'm here talking on a podcast, I'm here in the 73rd, 75th, 70th, 80th, whatever floor I'm on, looking at New York City while I'm having a conversation with someone who's extremely successful. I already made it to me. Like every step I make. So I just want you to know, like, we're seeing you. We appreciate you. We hope you keep pushing the culture forward. I appreciate this conversation. And hopefully, the same way you gave me this opportunity, the moment that I'm on that level to give somebody opportunity, I'm going to give it forward, pass it forward. But continue that conversation. I know I've spoke a lot now.
Nah, you're good, bro. You gotta
I got to keep it like an interview.
I like that you're very okay with showing your perspective. I don't know, bro. I think I'm a very different person. I'm a very appreciative person. I am. Don't get me wrong, but I just don't know how to live in the moment. I think that I can relate to a lot of things because I've felt them, but I just move on to like things so much quicker. I do think I'm different in a lot of ways of like I'm somebody that was put into this world to create opportunities and do a lot for everybody, not just for myself. And that responsibility does kind of weight on my shoulders in a sense, because I enjoy things and I am very proud of everything, but I rarely spend time doing that. I very, very rarely spend time doing that. I think I have such a big team now. My family has seen me do unbelievable things, as you say, essentially. Like my mom doesn't even understand. Like, she can't even fathom the kind of money that we make. She can't even fathom her life. Right? She can't even fathom the fact that, she has a $30,000 watch on her wrist. She doesn't understand that. But all that just puts more pressure into like, okay, I've changed the life of those around me. I want to really do something that changes more.
And everybody works different. Everybody has different motivations. And maybe
I can't do it. I can't do it, bro.
That's the dog that's in you.
Yeah, I can't do it. I can't sit down and just like
let me enjoy this moment. Let me drink something.
I can't do
that.
Like,
we made it.
Bro. Yeah.
But then that's also makes some people complacent.
Don't get me wrong though. It also, I can do it for like one day, or when we do something super big, or just freedom wise, right? Like I won't, I made it. Like, look at this. Like when I got this place, right? I wasn't like, look at this, I did it. However, sometimes, some days when I'm living life however I want to live life and just doing whatever the crap I want to do, I think about it. That's when it hits me, I think. When I'm just doing, bro, like whatever jack shit I want to do because I want to fucking do it, that's when it kind of hits me. And I'm like, well, I'm blessed.
And I'm pretty sure like when you get a car, you're like, yo, this was my dream car.
Nah, I don't get that.
Now I'm just renting it. You don't get that?
I don't get that. I'm always like on to the next, on to the next, on to the next, on to the next. And it's like, bro, I'm so hungry. I want more out of life.
Do you think there's ever going to be a moment where you're like, you know what?
I don't think so. I don't think so, bro. I want to show the world, bro, that it's not about where you come from, bro. Because the kind of money I make, most people watching this won't understand, really. But I'll tell you this, I have so many friends who are so successful from birth. I have so many friends who come from so much money, and they would give everything to be where I am in life. And think about it, like I literally have friends who are from different countries who come here with so much money, their parents give them millions of dollars, and they could never live a day in my shoes. They couldn't make the money I make, right? simply because it's not about how you're born or what you have. It's really about what's in you, the determination that you have in you, right? You can be exactly as me, whether you come from money or not. And I'm telling you, as I hang out with people who come from so much money, and it doesn't matter. It's really about how bad you want it. If you truly want something and you're willing to sacrifice or do what needs to be done to get that, you will get that no matter what, bro. Like, I really come from a fucking third world country where I'm boiling water to shower, where I don't have electricity 24 hours a day. You know what I'm saying? You can't still believe that you have to come from somewhere. Yes, you have to know and you have to have information, but nothing's stopping you from getting it. So for me, it's just like, I just have to keep going. I have to keep proving it. And one thing that I'm getting kind of like a fight back on is like, I remember when I first got my first Lambo and when I first got the first few supercars, people would relate to me very, very heavy. They would relate to me as in like, okay, yo, he did it. Like, we can do it, you know?
Yeah.
And the more successful I get,
the
less people relate to me. The more they start thinking, yo, that guy's a one-off. Like, he drives $1 million Ferrari. He has a fucking new watch every week. He's an anomaly. Bro, I'm not an anomaly. And I really want to close the gap of what's possible and not possible as much as I possibly can. And the only way I can do that is by continuously keep growing and doing it younger.
Because I mean, we also, I'm sorry to cut you off, but we also, a lot of things, social media has kind of like damaged entrepreneurs in a way. Even though it's been this open door, it's been this door that opens the world to everybody. But again, there's a difference between you have this product and a service that you sell, right? And because of that, you live a certain lifestyle, right? But then a lot of people is the opposite. A lot of people are trying to sell a product based off the lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And sometimes it's truly a facade.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate.
I see it, bro. I rent out cars. I see that every day
you know
basis.
That. Unfortunately, because it gives this false impression
fake
to
it till you
the
make
kids.
it.
It gives a false impression to the youth.
Yeah, no, I
You know
did a podcast before and somebody brought that up and I said, I've seen fake it till you make it work. I've seen it work and I've seen it not work.
It works.
I've seen it work and I've seen it not work. But what it will do is build a false lifestyle for yourself and the wrong kind of
reputation too.
Not reputation, but it would just, when you get used to making money a certain way, that's the only way you know how to make money, you continuously keep doing that way. So I don't see somebody faking it till you making it at a super big level like the one that I am today. But I do see how a lot of people have make it, you know? But just by
it's also about society. Because society has come to understand in a certain place in the world that in order for you to be successful, you have to have this lifestyle. When we're pretty sure you know a bunch of people who don't live the lifestyle you live, who probably have the same money as you or more. You know what I'm saying? So it's all perspective.
Literally, it's all perspective.
Society's made it so normal. Like,
shout out my boy Jordan Welch, because we're having a prior conversation, and he said it best, because he's very good with words. He said, all these people that basically kind of come in trying to fake it till they make it and live a lifestyle where that's how you make money by doing crazy shit. Like, good luck keeping up with that. You can't keep that up forever.
And if I'm not mistaken, he's created a content where he's like, show them the proof. So it's like, if you fake it until you make it right there, you're done. If he says, show the Amazon, you know, show the sales. If you're not showing something, you know, you're done right there.
Yeah, no, Jordan's a GOAT, and he's literally exited a couple businesses, a couple Shopify stores as well. He's a GOAT, and speaking to him gives me clarity on a lot of things because he actually manages to meet everybody and see everything. So I love having conversation with him and seeing his perspective on things. But he said it best: when you're making money by flaunting a lifestyle, and that's how you have the money coming in, good luck keeping up with that. That's literally what he said.
Man, it's really tough. And then the money runs out too, because you got to always be promo and always spending money.
You have to keep pumping. At what point do you decide to use money to make more money, right? Because essentially what they're doing is they're using their money to flaunt and make money. They're not using the money to make money from its actual itself. They're using it to promote, flaunt. That money's not coming back.
And unfortunately, it usually, and this is where a lot of people have gotten bad rep through the course industry, because a lot of people have used that faking it till you make it in order to sell courses.
Yeah.
And then sometimes these courses don't hold value for the people buying it. And you've been the person who's done courses before. I know right now you're focusing more on the service side, on the business side, than the course. But even you've had a little bit of flack, a long time ago on that. But at the end of the day, I want you to speak on the course world, on this world, because you've been,
Yeah.
maybe hand in hand with, not with the people, but you've seen it
Yeah,
yourself.
1,000%.
Like,
I mean,
people faking it to make it
Yeah.
in order to sell courses. And then that's literally
Yeah.
what they're living off of, the courses.
Yeah.
You weren't, obviously. But what I'm saying is, like, what is your perspective on that?
I mean, I'm gonna make a full video on later on speaking about my experience on it because I think it's a very I think it'll be a good video. But for me personally, right? I can't speak on other people. I don't want to speak on other people. But for me personally, I was convinced to drop a course. I think 2019, 2020, by my videographer who was working with me full time, and he used to work for some e-com guys before. And he was like, obviously, he didn't work with them anymore, so things weren't going well with them. So he literally asked me for a job. I gave him a job and whatever. We started working together. And about a year in, he was like, dude, you should drop a course. And I was like, I'm not doing that. I make money. Like I'm not one of those guys that go ahead and sell courses. So even I didn't know anything about the industry. That was my perspective on it. That's kind of what they put out there. It's like, hey, if you sell courses, you don't really make money doing what you do. Otherwise, why would you do it?
Yeah. Like,
So
why am I
that
giving
was my
sauce?
reaction. That was my reaction. I was like, yo, I'm not doing that. I actually make money. And his response, word for word, was, that's exactly why you should. So he convinced me. We created a course, put it out there, and I'm not gonna lie, made a lot of money. We made pretty good amount of money because the thing with courses is, it's all profit. You don't really have crazy overhead. If you have a fan base already, you don't have to spend money on ads, which we did. We spent money on ads as well, and it's like a double-edged sword. At the beginning, oh, amazing, bro. I am creating a community. I have a bunch of people that, one, learn the business, and two, are pushing my cars out. So like essentially working for me for free.
These are being
And they're
brokers.
making money. So bro, it's like a win-win. Everybody is winning. That's the first side of it.
But then it comes responsibility.
Then it comes, no, not even that. It's like the reality of it thing. The reality of it is like buying a course is like buying an elevator. You can take the stairs, you can take the elevator, but anybody can learn without buying the course.
Yeah.
Me personally, I'd rather go ahead and take the elevator. That's just what I'd rather do.
You're paying for the perspective of that individual.
Yeah, you're paying to learn quickly, or at least learn what they know, right? Now, somebody that's not gonna succeed in something will not succeed no matter what they do. You can invest in, your parents can give you $1 million and you can fuck up $1 million. I've seen it firsthand. So it doesn't matter whether you're buying a course or not. If you don't have what it takes, you're not actually gonna go ahead and do it, you're gonna fail. So what happens when you have a course? What happens when you have a course is people who shouldn't buy a course buy them, and you can't do anything about that, obviously, because you don't know who's gonna make it or not. But the ones that don't get so angry, bro, so angry. So for my experiences, what turned out to be amazing, and I'm having people, bro, I love your content, I love your course, bro, you're so real in there. There was this part where, as I'm filming the course, some sexy girl walks by, and I'm like, oh, I left it all in the course, because that's me, that's real. Bro, so many messages of like students that we had at the time, dude, you're so real, I love everything about the course, like it's all genuine stuff, you got straight to the point and did it. Then it came the other side of people when they were like, dude, you're so unprofessional, why would you do that in the course? I paid you this much money for that, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, have your money back, like leave. But I can't do that every single day. Because all those people that come in and buy it, I have no control of who can come in, who buys it, and who doesn't. And it came with a side of like, okay, you have a lot of people who are so grateful, they're doing amazing, and it makes you feel so good. But those people that usually succeed, they just go ahead and keep it trucking. They make money. They go about their business. They say, hey, bro, thank you, I loved it. Keep going. Then the other side is like a nightmare. So now the same thing that gave me such pleasure to do, and it made me feel good. The other side ruined it. It kind of just, now for the first time in my life, I'm having people come in like, oh, well, this didn't work out for me. Well, that wasn't good. Well, why did you do that? So I'm like, you know what? I don't want the headache. I just won't do it. So shut down the course. Haven't sold the course in so long now. And it's crazy because people will ruin something good. And I think for some, once they're making that money from the course, they don't have the option to do what I do, which is, well, I make money, with other things. So let me go ahead and, out of that. But what we did after selling the course was I did mentorships for a while. because a mentorship it's a little bit easier to guarantee somebody's success. So we did that for a little bit, and we would qualify the people as well in advance, and it just, bro, it was like too much. I think we were selling it for like $5,000, and I would just get booked up, so I couldn't actually work on my business. So then we're like, okay, cool, let's just go ahead and raise it to 10K. Not to sell more, but so people stop buying it, and that I can actually focus on my business. That didn't stop. People just kept buying.
They say if you're
People keep
overbooked,
fucking
your
buying.
price is too low.
Yeah, so then we're like, okay, fuck it, let's just do it 25,000, and people start doing that. So all right, we just gotta cut it off. We just gotta cut it off, because when you're making money from courses, yes, you're making cash, but what am I really building here, right? I now own a business that's worth 9 figures. I can't do that if my whole day is filled speaking with other people and teaching other people. Although I do have a passion for it, like I do genuinely enjoy it. Like, bro, I can grab my phone right now and call so many people who are in the business, who are doing so great, and literally are so grateful of what we've done for them, and amazing friendships that I would build because of it. You have to be selfish. At some point, it doesn't make sense anymore to do it. At some point, it's like, okay, you're actually building somebody else's business. You got to build your own. You got to keep your own growing. So for us, obviously, that was my experience with it, and like I said, it's a double-edged sword. And I don't think you can take one side without taking the other. You're gonna have to take in both.
One of the biggest expenses that you could have in this industry, I'm assuming, is if someone crashes your car. And I've seen you had some incidents of that. What are the steps to take, or what do you do when that happens?
Well, I mean, it really depends how you're set up, how your business is set up, and how the deal is set up. So every situation is different. If we're talking about an everyday deal where somebody gets into a car accident, it's very simple, bro. We're making a claim on their insurance. We have an attorney that his whole job is to make claims and get us paid. So leave it on to him.
Because most deals you're doing at this level right now is people are coming in, leaving a deposit, and they have to have insurance, their own insurance, which they use for the vehicles. So it's pretty as simple as that.
Yeah. So for us, I'm an old rental company. Like I started my rental company way before insurance was banned. So we do have rental insurance. We have liability insurance.
Grandfather did.
And not only that, I have enough money to insure myself. If a car gets into a car accident, I can afford to cover the whole car. I can afford to take the L. And hopefully by that time, I've made more. But it just makes more sense to only rent to people with insurance. And it's very simple. One of my good friends, Houston Crosta, I asked him one time, because I was so obsessed with like, I want to rent cars to people that don't have insurance. Like I want to rent out to everybody. I want to make the most money possible. And the only way I can do that is by renting to absolutely everybody. And he told me very calmly, I don't want those people anyways. He said, look, bro, we only rent to people with insurance. And at the time, I think it was like 20, bro, when he told me this. And he was like, look, bro, we only rent to people with insurance. And like we can cover it if somebody doesn't have insurance. And if it's internationally, maybe we'll do a deal every once in a while. But if you live in the US and you don't have car insurance, you probably shouldn't be driving this car. And when he said that to me with such calmness and like such, because I remember I was like 20 years old at the time, bro. I was still a kid. I'm still learning from everything and everybody around me. When he said that with such calmness, it kind of put that hunger that I had of like, I need to find a way to rent to everybody away, and made me realize, okay, he's right. Maybe I should stop worrying about being able to rent to everybody, and let me focus on building a clientele that will respect my cars, will respect my rules, and will respect that I'm giving them a $250,000 cars.
Using that information, how do you feel about, I think the term is maybe straw renters or sub. How do you feel about people who do that, who they'll take your car, put the insurance, and they go and rent it to somebody else? You feel like that's a little shady for them to be doing that?
I mean, if you did it like the proper way, then no. Like if you're letting us know, hey, we have a client and this is him, and we vet the client and we do the deal with the client, we'll pay you your referrals fee. By all means, we're in the business of making money with a lot of people, with anybody. If you want to make money with us and you have a client, feel free to bring him over. You'll get paid. Just get on the right way. Now, it's very hard to do that, to do a straw rental, as you said, from us, because, bro, we have like so many systems in place. So many systems, so many employees, just looking at everything. Like, just from data alone, we can see if you gave the car to somebody else. Like, kind of obvious. Like, we have 4 to 5 people, I think, consistently looking at the cars and everything. As soon as the car's on the rental, somebody's looking at it. The whole, from you have the car, we're looking at everything. if you have the car for 3, 4, 5 hours, we have enough data to see how you drive, what you do, and what you don't do. If you give the car to somebody else and that changes and you're doing something that you didn't do in the last 3, 4 hours, now we're like, okay, what's going on? And we might send somebody else to go check out the car, right? But to be fair, bro, we've been around for 6 years. I rarely rent to new people. I don't have to. And thank you to God and to my clientele for sticking with me for so long. But we have a pretty good amount of trusted clientele.
If you see a client, I know you want your clients to have fun with the cars, but if you see you get a text from one of your guys like, yo, this guy's doing 140 miles per hour. Depending on the client, would that be like, okay, we're not renting him again, or we're gonna go pick up the car right now? And
like
depending on the car too, I'm assuming too.
So like I said, bro, we really don't rent to new people that much often, and every client we have, I can confidently say they're good people, and we trust majority of our clients. Like if you're a new client, you can't do that. So obviously we broker. We work with every car rental company in the U.S. If you have a client and he needs a car and you don't have that, we'll provide that for you. And by all means, everything is amazing. We do a great service and we make your company look good. But other rental companies, they'll tell you, because they broker a lot, right? They'll tell their clients that, listen, I have a guy that will have the car. Like I can reach out to Corsa and give you a better deal than you'll probably get reaching out to them directly. But, he's going to want this. He's going to want a credit card, on file. He's going to want a hold. He's going to want that. He's going to want your insurance to be active for at least 8 months. And he's going to call and ask them if you've been with them for longer than the 8 months, and he's going to turn the car off on you if you go past 80 miles an hour. If you drive 90, he will turn off the car on you. He is going to come pick up the car, and he is going to keep every single dollar, and you're not going to get that back because you broke the agreement. So I can go ahead and call Corsa and get you that car, but just know that those are the rules they play by. So we don't really have that often, bro.
Have you ever had a nightmare story?
Oh, we have had multiple.
Give me the worst.
Bro, listen, just the last week alone, it doesn't happen very often. So I don't want to make this like a thing where like, oh my God, this is so bad. We actually don't have any car accidents. But last week alone, we had a 7 Series get into a car accident and a Urus get into a car accident. Now, the 7 Series is brand new. We really just got it. That car is printing too. I mean, bro,
Was it the 740i?
Some new one that we got. But bro, the car was printing money, like printing just out every single day. Literally can't see it, just consistently out. But things happen, it's the business. Now, it's not a nightmare. We just call the insurance. We don't even speak to the clients, really. Once you get into a car accident, hey, how are you? Are you okay? Is everybody okay? Are you safe? Are you injured? Is anybody injured? No? Okay, bye. Call his insurance. Make the claim started. Or give it all to our attorney and he handles everything.
For the people who are getting into this industry or who want to get into it doubtful, is there anything you could say to them? Be like, you know what? Just get in it. Just do it. Just start. Just get the car. Just go and do it.
I think it just depends on the kind of person you are. I think it depends on the way you make money, the way you're used to making money. And that will kind of let you know if this is the way that you want to do it. If you're somebody who worries a lot about everything that could possibly go wrong, this is probably not the business for you. But if you're somebody that you like to make money by buying things and letting other people use it for you to make money, then this is something for you. For me, I was in real estate before. I didn't like the returns. I wanted something better. And now I've built a life with multiple businesses where I buy things majority of people can't afford, and I rent it to them. I let them have it for X amount of time and get paid for it. And I'm okay with that because that's just kind of like the way that I'm built to make money. Now, as you get older, or to some people, they don't like that kind of risk. They rather make slower money, less profit in other things, and that's okay. I think it's just learning, is this something that you can do long term? But I really think, bro, like if you want to do real estate rentals, if you want to get into real estate and do like rentals and stuff like that, try supercar rentals. Try it out.
How many cars you got?
I think we have about 107, 109. We're selling a lot of cars right now. So
and you were telling me that you had the price in mind from that video or no? Of like how many, like in total, asset wise in cars you have in
over 10 million in cars. I think at one point we had like 26 million in cars, but we've sold so many. I think we're actually under 100 cars right now. And the cars are dropping in price so much that it doesn't make sense to keep them and rent them out it's like dropping faster.
Yeah, you know, the
than
market-
we're
the
making.
market's gone down
So
to
we're
40%.
selling and we'll have to rebuy soon too.
Car market's going down like about 40%.
Yeah, a good rental business knows when you can have X amount of cars and when you cannot have. And if you bought at the right price, then you can get out at the right price as well, and it makes sense. But if you're somebody that doesn't know the business, doesn't have the support, you don't have a team that actually knows supercar rentals, then and you got into it during COVID, you're probably way into it and you're probably losing money. But for us, like I said, we make our money in Dubai, so us selling cars now, it's not a thing of like, oh, they have to sell the cars now. We have to. It's a thing of like, okay, now is the time to sell those cars, and we're still making money, and we're still good. We're not losing any single bit of money.
Any words of motivation for someone who wants to be an entrepreneur?
Shouldn't need motivation. I mean, look around you. Are you happy? If you're not happy, then time to get it. I don't watch YouTube videos to motivate myself. I don't do anything. Actually, I'm a very different person, bro. I'm very self-motivated. I know what I want, and that's just what I'm going for. If you looking around you and you're not happy, and I'm not saying that so I'm like, oh, well, what I have is okay. I'm talking about like legitimately, do you want change? Then, go do it. But nobody's gonna do it for you. That's the main thing to think about.